Hello everybody and welcome back to KSP POV, where we play Kerbal Space Program in first person. As you can see here, we're starting off on the launch pad because we have quite the episode for you today. As you may be able to tell from the title and the thumbnail, we are going to put our Kerbals as close to the Mun as possible without actually setting them down in our first Munar FlyBy, and the first crewed Munar FlyBy of the Janus project. It will be our milestone that we're going to be taking home today, and hopefully we can land a Kerbal on the Mun in the next episode, and hopefully we can do it before they do. They being the KXP group, as we have been calling them. If you are new to this series, we are pitting ourselves against ourselves and trying to see who can conquer the Kerbal system first by planting a flag on every celestial body. And I'm excited because with this voyage that we're taking today, we are getting that much closer to planting our first flag on the Mun. Alright, we've got clearance from mission control. Everything is good. Bob, how you doing? We got Bob and Jeb in the cockpit. We've got a decent amount of life supplies, life support, I should say. And with nothing else left to do, let's go ahead and throttle up and SAS on stage. Got a healthy thrust to weight ratio. Gonna rotate ourselves so we're pointed more normally. There we go. Listen to that rocket plume. And thankfully I've got the sounds working this time. It seems, at least looking over at my recording, so we don't have the problem that we did in the last episode, which is important because I love the computer talking back to us. Passing the cloud layer. Looking good. Thrust to weight ratio about to breach 2. Apoapsis is doing well. Alright, so we're just going to hold here until we break into the Kármán line, and I'll meet you again once we start circularizing. Clean separation. We regain control a little bit. Let's go ahead and point ourselves prograde. And actually, we could probably stop burning now. Let's get to 110. That looks good. We're going to go ahead into MechJeb and circularize the next apoapsis. That gives us our node, and we're going to plot that into flight computer. Go ahead and let remote tech handle the maneuver. So we are in space now, so we can activate our first action group, which deploys our solar panels of our main vehicle. Cruising over ever so slightly, but almost pointed at our maneuver. We can actually deploy our satellite solar panels as well as the communication dishes. There we go, we can see that right there. Excellent. When you're playing first-person IVA mode, it's very important to consider where your cameras are lined up and where they're angled out. This gives us a clear view of the probe in front of our vehicle. So if this telemetry wasn't working, we didn't have it, like if our technology of our IVA just wasn't strong enough that it has that screen, then we'll want to be able to get eyes to know that, like, when we hit our satellite deploy action group, that it actually deployed our satellite. It's good to know. Let's actually get this back. Focus here. We've got 71% left in our stage. Delta V of over 3,500, which is more than enough to get us to and from the Mun. And there we have it, with a cool 38% left in our stage, 2,500 Delta V left. We are looking good. So let's go ahead and plot ourselves a maneuver out to the Mun. And part of this mission is to also get another comms network satellite out there. That's what that satellite on our nose is for. And so we are actually going to want to come in fairly high for this. Is that our scan set? You know, before we make this maneuver, I want to take a look at something, which is good because we want to be able to do science while we're on this trip. So let's go ahead and just point ourselves prograde for a second. Oh, it's going to take a while to get there. Never mind. Let's just keep ourselves stable. And let's go ahead and get Bob out. Oops, not Valentina. Or excuse me, Jeb. Excuse me, Jeb. There we go. Let's get Bob out of the seat. Take a quick little peek down at the world. Beautiful. Take a quick little peek at Jeb. Beautiful. Alright, let's go ahead and get Bob out into space. And for the first spacewalk with an actual RCS pack on, so we can safely let go of our capsule. Ooh, not that far. Go over our capsule and do some science. So let's go ahead. I'm just going to perform all science. EVA report is 8. We also have this little spinning experiment that we've done. 25 science for that. That's great. Alright, so now what I want to do here is just take a quick peek at this satellite and just confirm that this is not a scan sat. Okay. No, this is not meant to scan the surface of the Mun. This is simply a communications network. It's been a little bit since I had built this rocket, so I just wanted to confirm what the mission was, and so I was glad that we could do that so simply using the Through the Eyes of the Kerbal mod and the free IVA mod. Excellent. I love being able to do that. Okay, so knowing now that we don't need to be in a polar orbit, that makes things a whole lot easier. Let's go ahead and plot in our maneuver out to the Mun. Oh, interesting. We have a very bad inclination. Okay. Alright, I think that's looking good. I think we can handle that. We're slowly straying towards the maneuver. We've got that plotted into remote tech looking good, so let's go ahead and kill that. Bring up our orbital display, which will also give us our relative inclination. Yeah, we are 8.2. That is ridiculous. That's the good thing about overbuilding your rocket is you have contingency plans. Like in our testing, we didn't fly at this far of an inclination, so we had a lot of fuel left over. So I feel pretty confident that 314 Delta V taken out of our 2500 is still well within our margin of error for our safety. Alright, now that we're more or less lined up, let's just time warp our way closer to the maneuver, let it take over, and fix our inclination. There we go. Ooh, that is a very nice low inclination, 0.109. That is what I like to see. Let's go ahead and get back into the map mode. Alright, so we want to come in at close to 2 million kilometers, so that way we can have a nice high orbit for our probe satellite. So that way it can give a nice, clean, wide berth of communication around it, especially since we now have communication dishes that can reach from here to Kerbin very easily. So we're going to plot in this maneuver. It's 23 seconds. 826 Delta V, which is more than doable. Gonna let remote tech take over once again. It's going to slowly drift this over. This is quite the boat of a vessel right now. In our landing vehicle, obviously we can't land with, I mean, we could land with this, but it's not a sensible landing vehicle to land with something like this. So we will be making an inner stage, but in all of our testing, we ended up overbuilding. Once we got these fuel tanks and engines involved in the launch vehicle, we ended up overbuilding to the point where the interstage was unnecessary. So we just took it out, and for the sake of simplicity, we just left the launch vehicle the same, which is why it looks so weird. Even by Kerbal standards, this looks weird. Okay, so we're slowly drifting over, so I will meet you once again at the time of maneuver. And we're getting ready to burn. There we go, lining it up. So we see our orbit being pushed out. Excellent. We will be able to keep an eye on our approach in this video, this window. This window. Transfer. Closest approach. Where is that information? I could have sworn one of these windows had a better transfer information, but I guess not. So let's now plot in our circularization burn here, because we're not just going to fly by, but we're actually going to orbit. And we have 260 delta V for that maneuver out of our 1200. So once again, still doing great. We're gonna end up not using any of the fuel for our probe to circularize, because that's just how overbuilt this whole mission ended up becoming. But that's okay, because we may end up taking this probe and doing other things with it. It has a lot of delta V on it, and we could essentially send it to another planet, or maybe just getting it out into orbit of the sun. If we have a contract for that, we could potentially just scooch this out. So, or we could use that fuel to change the orbit when we get better communication network going, and other satellites here, we can use that one to move around. But yeah, I'd say the sky's the limit, but apparently it's a lot higher than that. But anyways, let's go ahead. We have that maneuver plotted in. Let's go get that done in remote text flight computer. Once again, this boat will take a while to point itself where we need to go. Any external lights? No. So I will see you when we get ready to burn. And now, with it pointing the right way, all that's left to do is time warp our way over to the Mun. We can see it approaching our camera here. That's excellent. That was a lucky happenstance right there. That's so cool. Oh wait, while we are still in space high above Kerbin, yes we are. Okay, Bob, you have a second. Go ahead, hop out once again and get some high space science. Oof, it looks so ominous being this dark. Alright, perform all science. We don't need an EVA report, but we do need this. $37.5 science for that. Excellent. We're floating a little uncomfortably far away from our craft, so let's come hop on back on board. Ooh, we started to hit that with some force. Why won't you let me? There we go. Whew, alright. Get the old blood pressure going. Alright, let's get ourselves over to the Mun, and we'll do that yet again. And with that, we are in space above the Mun, space high over the Mun. So, Bob, go ahead and collect the high space science. Oh, can you not? Are you not allowed to do that? There we go. Alright, 16, 12, 10, 24, 16, 8, and 50. Not a bad haul. So, go ahead and hop out once again. Alright. There we go. We're gonna go ahead and let go. Get our RCS pack going. We are gonna take the data out of the capsule because we got a crew report in that. Let's go ahead and perform all science. Got the first EVA in space over the Mun, and first EVA experiment in space high over the Mun. I believe the Mun's on the other side of our craft right there, yep. Okay, we are doing some dangerous EVAing right now, so let's go ahead and just get him back aboard. Jeff's so happy. Alright, we're gonna go ahead and collect all of our science there. Excellent. And now nothing left to do except time warp our way over to our maneuver and circularize. Alright, 3 minutes to the maneuver. Let's time warp forward yet again. It's only 6 seconds of a burn, so it'll be real fast. And there you have it. 1.7 million meters above the surface. We are now in orbit. Let's go ahead and kill that. As you see here, we still have local control, which means that we are receiving signal from Kerbin. Get rid of that. We don't need that at all. We're still receiving signal from Kerbin, which is good to see because we are going to want that for our probe. Which means that as soon as we drop it off, it will begin to act as a communications network for us. Let's go ahead and okay, so I realized that if we point ourselves retrograde, we're going to actually collide with our satellite. So let's go ahead and stage it now. Okay, that is gone. And there it goes. Alright, so there goes our satellite. I'm sure we have connection with it. I don't really feel like transferring it over there, but we are about to burn retrograde, so we're going to want a little bit of a distance from it. There we go. Actually, we could have done that a little more simply, but we are going to want to bring our periapsis down into low space above the Mun, and I think we want to do it on the light side. I don't want to be out in the dark, low in space. So we're going to do it over here. We're going to bring ourselves down. I know low space is actually 60 kilometers above the surface, but we are going to bring ourselves down to 33. Just ever so slightly. Maybe even down 27. How about that? Alright, but first we are going to limit our throttle. Makes that a 10-second burn. Excellent. Okay, so let's go ahead and plot that into Flight Computer. There we go. Alright, so that is going to roll itself over. We are going to get ourselves maneuver to come down low in space over the Mun, and then once we do that, we are going to go ahead and head on home. We have this maneuver itself is going to cost 100 meters per second delta V out of our 1,000. So again, feeling very comfortable. This is making me feel like this challenge and this program that we're running is well within our reach. And yeah, we're going to be able to handle this. I think with the addition of the fuel ducts, being able to have larger scale vehicles is soon going to be a very real possibility for us. We may be able to build direct descent landers that bring us back. So pretty excited about that. And I think there's really nothing else holding us back from it putting boots on the soil in the next episode. Not soil, surface. But nonetheless, we are going to get a Kerbal flag, and if all goes according to plan, we may be able to sneak it away from the KXP group yet again. We're already going to get the first Kerbal in orbit around the Mun, as well as the first flyby of the Mun. So yeah, pretty excited, pretty happy with how this is going. We've been pretty aggressive about using Kerbals in flight as opposed to probes, which has its risks as well as its rewards. And so I'm just glad nothing has happened yet. But of course, can't count our blessings until we're home. And with that, a low thrust limit just ever so softly brings our orbit down to a reasonable height. 28.6 kilometers. I will take it. Alright, so we can actually get rid of Flight Computer for a second and just hold steady this way. Ooh, that was an interesting one. Alright, let's go ahead and time warp our way closer to the surface. I think we'll be able to get a good look at it. Ah, there it is. I'll slow down yet again. Alright. So we're going to want space. Yep, we're spaced just above the Mun. Let's go ahead and do our science real fast. Low space. Alright, not bad. 18, 15, 24, 36, 24, 12, and 75. Wonderful. Alright, so let's go ahead and get Bob out. He's getting well used to this this roll. Whoops. Come on, Bob. Space above the Mun. You should love this. Alright, so we softly let go of the ladder, pull ourselves away from the craft. Oh, we do need to gather the science from there, though. Alright. And we are going to perform all science. 24 science for that. And 75 for that. 24 for the EVA report, 75 for the experiment. So it's really good and handy to have that experiment on you when you go and do these kind of missions. Alright, so then enough playing around. Let's get back into the craft. We're actually going to quickly get in our seats just so we can press that button so it'll collect everything. But we're actually going to once again hop out. Getting very used to this now. We're going to let go yet again. What we want to do is we have this science collection unit, experiment return unit, and that has been collecting all of our science into one central location, and theoretically should be fine to come back, but after the previous episode, the previous flyby, where we could have been landing on the Mun right now, that's what we could have been doing in this episode, but the previous flyby failed because we accidentally jettisoned that capsule. We had everything stored in there and then we launched it. So what we're gonna do here is we're gonna store all these experiments. Do we have any experiments left on us now? No, it doesn't look like it. It would give us the option to deposit it. Okay, so all of our science is now in the capsule. So, if anything, if we lose that science experiment return unit, it doesn't matter because all the science is in the capsule, which actually means that the experiment return unit is useless. However, oh, you know what? Let's go ahead and point ourselves prograde. Does mean that it is useless on our craft right now, but that's okay. It was worth it to have the peace of mind that we can get our science back no matter what. So with all that, that has been a successful mission. Did we complete any contracts? We did not, unfortunately, but no matter, we will prevail. Let's go ahead and point ourselves prograde, and let's go ahead and leave this place. Oh, it looks like we already have. Really? Are we on an escape trajectory? Yeah, we are. Okay. Good to know. All right, let's just get out of the orbit of the Mun, and then we'll deal with say goodbye, Bob and Jeb. Jeb, it's gonna be a while before you come back to the Mun, so you take a good hard look at it and enjoy yourself. Unfortunately, you didn't get a chance to EVA around it, but that was not the mission for today. Because Valentina is going to be slotted for the landing on the Mun mission, and so she'll be the next one to see it. But Bob is the only scientist we have, so there's a chance he may be seeing the Mun up close and personal yet again. Alright, so we are now in a very wide orbit around Kerbin. See, our life support is actually doing fairly well. So we could come out to our apoapsis and drop it to our periapsis. pretty good. That'd be the most efficient way. Because that's 5 days from now. The periapsis is 5 days from now. If we try to lower ourselves from there. Let's see. How much fuel do we have in our stage? Interesting. We could do another flyby. Drastically lower our periapsis. This was not available in our testing, but this might actually work out pretty well. Yeah, you know what? Let's take this and let's be super accurate with it. So we're gonna limit our throttle, make it a 14-second burn. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with that maneuver. We definitely have the life support to handle it. Yeah, I'm pretty good. Okay, so let's go ahead and get ourselves pointed there. Wow, we're actually almost right towards there, so it should take no time at all, and I will see you when we need to burn. Alright, we are getting close to the maneuver. What is that? Oh, that our delta V is low? Descent. Okay, so this screen does not show us a lot. It definitely shows us that we are going to be on an intercept with the MUN. That's true, and we are high enough that we're in no danger of crashing into it. And our periapsis is now well within the atmosphere, and our apoapsis is actually significantly lower than what we started with. So that was a really good maneuver. We only have 671 meters per second delta V left in our tank, but there's no need to. I mean, we absolutely could, like, periapsis. We absolutely could circulate. Oh no, we couldn't. Alright, so it's not that much of a waste. Good to know. So, yeah. Yeah, pretty happy with that. This mission, after the last not the last episode, but the episode before that, the disaster that befell us with losing all that science, and then the disaster that befell us of upgrading our capsule and then losing control of our rocket, was a bit of a setback, and so I'm glad to see things working out, actually. Alright, so we don't need flight computer up at all anymore. We can turn that on. Have ourselves point retrograde naturally, but we don't need to really worry about that for now. We're going to fly by the MUN and come back, and then hopefully we'll be able to re-enter the atmosphere in one re-enter. Hopefully we can land on carbon in one pass, because it looks like we're going to do it in the daylight side, which will be cool. Alright, here we are, passing by the MUN, saying hello again. Jeb, I lied to you. You got to see it one more time. And with that, we are now leaving the sphere of influence. And that little pass by was enough to alter our course. That is so cool. Alright, so our periapsis is 39.4 kilometers. Let's go ahead and time warp our way. Oh, let's, no, we can armor shoot later. Let's go ahead, time warp our way close to Kerbin. And the light of the, there we go. We are now within the atmosphere. Let's go ahead, time warp a little bit. Yeah, and yeah, let's jettison our stages. There we go. All right, we're saying goodbye to the rest of our craft. Oh, that is no good. We are going to be flipping around a lot, but that is just kind of the nature of the spherical pod. But oh, I wish I could see it. I wish I could really see the explosions. Oh, come on, just get a good view of it. That's all I ask. Oh well. But we do get to see a little bit of the Firefly re-entry color through our windows. That's kind of fun. Later on, when we have better capsules, we'll have access to better viewing windows of those effects. I'm so excited to start doing IVAs with that. We've got the Firefly, we've got Parallax continues, all sorts of things that are really tempting me. This is why I had such a problem with when I upgraded, or when I updated my mods and it broke everything, is we were so close to seeing Minmus in its true minty glory and Duna in its dustiness, and then this mod came out. It's all good stuff. Let's go ahead and check our orbit. Yeah, we are coming down fairly quickly. Yeah, we should have no problem. As long as our parachutes don't burn up, we should be good. Our pod temperature is remaining pretty solid, so happy with that. Try to get all the different views all at once. Oh, and we are on an impact course. And we'll be landing on the light sign. It's good to see. Where are we? Kerbin Shore. Okay, so we're near water-ish somewhere. Alright, nothing to do but come on home. I don't think we're in any risk of burning up in the atmosphere. So feel pretty good about this. Bob, how are you feeling? Bob's feeling like he's taking the back seat. Wishes he had a little more control in this journey. Different capsule, Bob. Once we get the Mach 1, 2, and 3, then you'll be sitting pretty. Once we get the Alcor pod, whew, chef's kiss. Wonder what the Alcor pod would do with the Firefly reentry. That'd be interesting. It's if you don't know what I'm talking about, the Alcor pod is a specific pod that's not made for reentry and has very low threshold for heat. There we go, and the last of our heating effects dissipate, and our temperature is dropping, so we are looking good. We're gonna put our vessel view up here so we'll be able to see our parachute. We're gonna wait until we see that it's safe to deploy our chute before we hit the arm button. Let's go ahead and time warp forward a little bit. Alright, it says that it's safe to deploy, so we're gonna just arm it. And we're gonna use our action group instead of this button because this will arm all the chutes. Whereas the parachute, we only want to arm the first chute. in case I may not have explained it, but there's a parachute on the science experiment collection unit. Oh yeah, there we go. It went automatically. Nice. But yeah, there was a parachute on the science experiment container, so if we did have to jettison it, there's a chance that it would still survive. Oh, that is beautiful. We are going to land in water. We're going to be safe and sound, coming on home with a bunch of science. So let's go ahead and just time warp our way down to the surface. Let's get Jeb and Bob home, give them their ribbons of merit, and look at what kind of science we unlocked, and then call it for today's episode. But I am super happy that we got these milestones, and hopefully, depending on what the KXP crew cook up over the weekend, hopefully we'll be able to snag the first Kerbal on the surface of the Mun milestone. So I'm happy about that. Congratulations, Jeb and Bob, on a successful mission. And I'll see you back at the KSC. Whoo! Look at that. 591 science. That is wonderful. Jebediah didn't get as many ribbons as Bob, but he also didn't do as much. But he did get the researching 1,000 or more science points. So that was pretty cool. And I guess he got that because he was the one that pressed the action group. Oh, that's hilarious. So yeah, sorry about that, Bob, but Jeb's more of a scientist than you, at least on paper. Yeah, so awarded for being the first Kerbal orbiting around the Mun, EVA around the Mun, all sorts of good stuff. Executing an EVA while not in a stable orbit. Oh, that must have been when we were in low space. Yeah, very cool. I love that the Final Frontier mod got updated and is now no longer out of date, because we used to get warnings all the time about Final Frontier and how it might not work well with the game and it might crash things. So I'm so glad to see that it's stable. But anyways, in the next episode, we're going to spend the science, see what kind of technology we can get and what we can do to upgrade our landers, or our crewed vessels, and turn one into a lander, and collect all that science from the surface and bring it on home with us. Hopefully a Munstone. We do have a mission to bring a Munstone back with us. So, oh, I guess we did, we did complete one contract. That's excellent. Forgot that we had just a flyby of that. But yeah, as we see here, plant a flag on the Mun, we gotta land. So we will be doing that in the next episode. I feel very confident that we have the science and the technology and the willpower to do it, and so hopefully we can do it first. But anyways, that is where I'm going to leave today's episode. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you're looking forward for more KSP POV. If you did, think about subscribing. Drop me a like, let me know your thoughts, and I will see y'all in the next one. Take care.